technologies, the perception of world around us has changed, and so has changed the teaching learning process. We are witnessing a shift towards blended learning. Is blended learning better than face-to-face traditional approach? This thought has been pondering in my mind for a while. So let's discuss the feasibility of blended learning and see its pros and cons through this presentation. Blended learning, pros and cons. My heart dropped to my stomach when I was going to take my first online class, and suddenly I looked into my desktop and I had lost my internet connection. There was no Wi-Fi. Technology can be challenging rather than useful. Not all digital resources are reliable and easy to use. There are certain advantages or pros of having blended learning in an institution. There is a lot of cost cutting on electricity, water supply, maintenance, helping staff for the days when the schools or colleges are closed. Institutions now have shifted from teacher-centered approach to student-centered approach. One size fits all doesn't hold true anymore because we know that the learners have diverse learning styles. Institutions these days focus on the holistic development of children. There is activity-based student-centered curriculum working with diverse learning styles according to the multiple intelligence theory given by Gardner. Institutions who have planned to shift to blended learning have to face the expense of technology. All institutions who are going for blended learning should have access to technology, digital platform. They need a lot of infrastructure and devices which can make blended learning feasible. You need routers, you need networking, you need laptops, computers, printers, and so on. In a country like India, still we have 45% internet penetration and 60% of schools are in rural India. So blended learning here becomes challenging. Intensive training sessions are required for the staff to implement blended learning. For an educator, blended learning can be very beneficial as he can combine best aspects of face-to-face teaching and online instructions. An educator can target a large number of students at one given time, maybe 50, 100, 200 or more, whereas in a classroom situation, he can only attend 30 to 40 students. Blended learning gives you an opportunity as an educator to make your lesson engaging. In the offline traditional classroom setup, you can have hands-on activity and experiment or doubt clearing sessions. For online, you can have videos, projects, quizzes, and games. Also, as a teacher, you can reply any queries on mails and WhatsApp. You can reuse your content. If you have made a particular video on a particular topic, students can see it number of times and you can use your videos, PPTs and Google Forms for the next academic session too. You can easily collaborate with your colleagues on content, and assessment tools like Google Forms, Google Drive can be shared with your colleagues. Textbooks may have some obsolete and irrelevant content. As an educator, you can share current and trending information with your students. You can give timely feedback to your students. In fact, instant feedback, as in case of Google Form. which aids in continuous evaluation. As an educator, you have flexibility. You can manage work according to your own schedule. As an educator, the biggest problem is to struggle with technology. You solve one issue and problem and another crops up. Life can be stressful for some educators because of the swinging between the online and the offline mode. There is definitely an increase in workload because you're moving out of your comfort zone, as most of us are used to the traditional classroom approach and we have to learn the digital technology. You're always at loss if you have inadequate training in ICT. As a teacher, you find it difficult to check plagiarism, whether a child has done on his own or he has just copied from Google Uncle. Blended learning can be beneficial for students as they have reduced stress levels because there is reduction in travel time, school timings. Students can have self-paced learning. There is lot of flexibility in blended learning mode. Students get time for completing their assignments. It is not like do it now. Students get access to interactive media like games, quizzes, and digital labs. The best part is that students have 24 by 7 access to learning material. So whenever student wants, he can read an e-book or watch a video. But blended learning is more beneficial for independent learners. All students who do not have good intrapersonal skills. There is an increase in screen time and your physical, socio-emotional development is affected because most of the time you are attending classes from home. It has also led to decreased motivation in case of some students. There is a missing connect with the teacher and peers as face-to-face interactions are reduced due to blended learning mode. There is no end to this discussion, but you and I have to accept that blended learning is new normal.